Good morning, everybody. It's Lisa Copeland. Today is Monday, October 22nd. And I bet you're wondering, where is that cool show opening she's got for 15 minutes of Fierce with Lisa Copeland? Well, technology hack. For me to bring on guests, I'm using my old platform. And today's guest you will be so excited. I could not wait to get her on the show. You know, to be fierce means not only to be fearless, and have initiative, be enthusiastic, be relentless, crush approval addiction, and to execute. But it means you've got to have courage also in a world that it knocks us down a lot of times if we decide to make a stand. And so I wanted to bring on one of my very dearest friends in the world, the co-author of Crushing Mediocrity. And it's the CEO of Charlie Bravo Aviation, Rene Banglesdorf. And Rene is also the founder of the MyStandUpChallenge.com, which is what we're going to talk about today. Rene, good morning from us. You're coming to us from Memphis, Tennessee.
Good morning. I am in Memphis, Tennessee. I'm here for a Women in Aviation conference.
Well, there's so much to talk about. This is a short show. We have got so many viewers on here. I want to acknowledge some of them. Janelle, I mean, you're a big draw, girl. Janelle and Anthony and Edwin and Carol and Michelle and Josh and Robin and Max and Laura and Ginger. I'm telling you, I've got a crowd, Rene Banglesdorf. I've got a committed, fierce crowd every single morning at 6:45 a.m. And I just thought it was so important what you're launching today. And I wanted to introduce it to my crowd, to my tribe. The MyStandUpChallenge.com. And if one of you will write that in there for me, MyStandUpChallenge.com. This is something that you founded because you are so passionate about teaching people who disagree, or teaching people how to disagree without being disagreeable, and to help people engage in real discussions that strengthen their communities. So I'm going to let you take it from there, because this is important. And what's going on in the world today, we need more stand-up challenges for sure. So I'm going to let you take it.
Well, thanks, Lisa. I think it's important probably to talk about why I felt like this was important. And it's because I've been outnumbered in so many different things. So if you think about it, you and I have been for a long time in male-dominated industries. So we're outnumbered women in male-dominated industries. And then you think about some of the other people who are outnumbered. You might have outnumbered people in your neighborhood or in your workplace if they have ethnic differences with the people that they're working with. Sometimes it's a millennial outnumbered in business or workplace with a bunch of old white guys. I mean, that's the case for my son in the industry that I work in. He's young. So, yeah. All of us get outnumbered in some place, but having the courage and the tools to be able to stand up for what you believe in when you're outnumbered is really important. And I've learned how to do that over the years, just like you've learned how to do that over the years. And I think it's important to teach other people how to do that.
Well, and already, people are already starting to pipe in here, Rene. You're not able to see what I see, but Joanna's saying she's ready to stand up. Trendy says good morning. Robin says good morning. People are joining like crazy this morning on this. This is such an important topic, especially, I think, Rene, in the world we live in where bullying is rampant. And bullying can go any way, right? It's if you don't believe what I believe, I'm now going to take you out on social media. I'm going to insult you. I'm going to write bad things about you. I mean, like, why in the world can you and I not be friends if we don't agree? And tell us what happens in the My Stand Up Challenge. What does this next 5 days look like? I'm excited. I'm going to do it.
Good. I'm glad you're going to do it. You're going to find some familiar things in there, Lisa, because in the My Stand Up Challenge, the very first day, I go through what you and I went through when we wrote Crushing Mediocrity. And when we sat down and we got really clear on what we believe and why, and what the facts were behind those things, and what supporting stories we could come up with for those principles. So that's the very first day of the challenge. The challenge starts today. It's not too late to sign up. You can sign up at mystandupchallenge.com and you'll get the video.
On the screen, just so you know.
It's a short video. It's like 5 to 8 minutes every day. And then there's a worksheet, so you have an exercise as well. But you go from being maybe a little timid or not knowing how to stand up about something the first day to getting really clear about what you believe, what others believe, where you might have common ground. And on the very last day, you take action inside your comfort zone. So it's not something where you're going to be standing on a table in your cafeteria with a megaphone. It's really about how to take common sense action on common sense things. And I think that it'll really help, not just because I teach you how to go through that, but because there's a private Facebook group. And in that private Facebook group, we'll be encouraging one another and offering suggestions and doing live Q&A and all sorts of things like that. So we'll have a community being built at the same time that we're standing up. Because Lisa, I want you to think about this. If you stand up and nobody else around you stands up, it's really hard and it requires a lot of courage. But if you stand up and everyone around you is also standing up, then things are radically different for you.
Well, so Rene, you are getting all kinds of love on this Facebook page. Julia says the challenge. Julia says the challenge is awesome. I'm sorry, everybody. We have a delay working here. Okay, so Renee, Julia says the challenge is exception. Ginger says she loves it. She's going to sign up after this live. Janelle says to be kind is to be clear. Dodge says clarity. Yes. Anthony says, hey, Lisa. Trendy. I love the name Trendy. She's a new show fan of ours. I know that's right. So, I mean, you have struck a nerve in people, Renee, with this stand up, with this mystandupchallenge.com. So are you going to help people find a voice? I mean, because I think so many times we believe things, but we're so afraid to say it, to stand up, or maybe we're not even clear why we believe what we believe, but we're sure not going to go out there. You were telling me a story about you were at a party Friday night. That must have been the party you went to before my party.
It might have been at your party. I'm not telling.
Right, but tell us about that. I mean, you don't have to give names or total situations, but give us, a little bit about that, because I think it'll make some people on here like, Janelle and Paul and Naomi and Michelle, like help them to understand why it's important that we stand up, that we find our voice, and that we, walk in our purpose.
Well, I think all of us have an obligation to use our voice. I mean, we have them for a reason. And we do have 2 ears and 1 mouth because we're supposed to listen twice as much as we speak. But I think if we listen and we listen intelligently, and then we know how to speak to people, we're able to do that thing. We're able to stand up, which I believe is a posture of leadership and readiness. And this woman that you mentioned that I saw at a party on Friday night told me that she voted for a certain candidate in the last election, and that she didn't feel comfortable telling anybody who she voted for. In fact, she was telling people that she didn't vote because she was so afraid of the backlash of having an opinion or having a stance that was different than other people's. And I think we lose something in our country, in our community, in our workplace, in our neighborhood, if we can't stand up and say, hey guys, bullying is not okay. Hey, it's not okay to throw trash on the side of the road. It's not okay to leave your shopping cart in the middle of the street. It's not okay to spend half of your day at work on Facebook instead of working. I mean, if we don't stand up and say, hey, these aren't the right things to be doing to make our community better, then our communities will get worse.
Yeah, I agree. And Renee, we have got so much interaction on here. It is crazy. So for all of you out there that agree with Renee, that you want to encourage your people, your tribe, if you want to learn to stand up, good grief, find your voice, then I'm asking you guys to share this, to like it, to love it, but share this broadcast out to your community. Bring your tribe in to stand up and to the stand up movement, because, we live in a country, Renee, that I think is paralyzed by fear. And to your point, if I don't believe what you believe, then, we can't be friends, and we're subject to bullying and all kinds of crazy stuff. And I said on my Facebook this morning when I woke up super early, I said, I'm cleansing a bunch of people. None of the people who tune into my show, though, because this is my tribe, but there's just a lot of people I'm getting rid of. And it's not because they disagree with me. It's because they are just outright bullies, and nothing they have to say is positive. And, I don't want to interact with the negativity. And I think I want to tell everybody, this is not about going negative at all. This is about finding your voice and learning how to project it in a positive way to incite change. Did I say that right?
I think that's a great way to say it. It really is about finding your voice and learning to use your influence so that you can change the world around you. And it really doesn't matter, Lisa, if your world is on an international stage. It doesn't matter if you're a big company's CEO or if you're a mom with small children. It's still important to know what you believe and why, and be able to use your voice to change the world around you, to influence it, to make a difference. And it doesn't matter if it's a small voice with just a small audience to begin with, because the more reasonable you are, the more you grow, the more important and influential your voice becomes.
Well, Renee, I wish you could see these comments. Jamie Hendricks says, I got fired for standing up to a boss that was treating me bad. I've been blessed to get rehired. Oh, I've been blessed to get rehired. Hopefully that meant somewhere else. Michael Brown says he can't wait to sign up. Jamie comes back and she says, standing up for the right. Trendy says, that's correct. Thank you for this. I mean, you have struck a nerve. Michelle says, hashtag own your story. Anthony says, yes, it's selfish not to rise up and speak. It's our duty to help others grow. Do you see what a great tribe I have? I mean, seriously, I've got like the best people in the world, because they get up at 6:45 in the morning and we just get into these really deep conversations. And I only want to bring people to them that are of value, that make their life better, that help them become more fierce, which is to fear less, right? It's to have initiative. It is to be enthusiastic, to be relentless, crush approval addiction, and then most importantly, to execute, and that's what you're calling people to do, Renee. You're calling them to execute. The E in fierce is to execute. And when you start something as audacious as mystandupmovement.com, you're putting people on the money. So Renee, as we wrap, we've got 2 minutes left. I want you to tell people how my fierce tribe, how they become more fierce by joining the mystandupchallenge.com.
Well, I think first and foremost, you know what you believe. So that's the very first day. That's what we're tackling today. I'll be live in an hour in Stand Up Challenge Facebook. And you can request to join that. So knowing what you believe is number one. Number two is developing the ability to disagree without being disagreeable. So learning how to say, hey, I believe this and you believe this, and we can find common ground and work together. And then the third thing, really, to stand up, is to not do it alone. And Lisa, you and I talk about this in Crushing Mediocrity in a few different places, and that's the A word called accountability. So you're not alone, you're accountable. So it's not that you're solo, and you're not just doing it with friends, you're doing it with friends who are gonna help you, or a community that's gonna help you be better and hold you accountable.
Well, Renee, if you looked at the comments here, people are saying that there is just no better way to start their Monday morning, to start their week, than to find their voice, to stand up, to be accountable. And again, I've got the most accountable tribe in the world because they're up at, Chantal's on here from Canada. It's 4:45 in the morning. So anyways, everybody, as we wrap, I want to encourage you today. The challenge starts today. Go to the mystandupchallenge.com. In here. I want to thank every single one of you. If you like this, if you find value, if you will share it out to your communities, if you'll leave us comments. And I'm going to be on the My Stand Up Challenge. So I'm going to see all of you again in an hour for those of you that sign up. But thank you again for spending this morning with us, this 15 minutes of fierce motivation. And we will see you tomorrow. Renee, thank you again for taking the time this morning and pouring into this tribe. You know I love you. Bye-bye, everybody.